By the time you're watching this, Inside Out 2 has already been released in theaters, or have been just released in general. And you want to see some stuff that was cut in the first film that later has been reused in the second film. Well, I'm here to tell you some deleted scenes or unused stuff that was used in the first film, which later has been carried over by the second film. So, with all that said, let's the deleted stuff begin. One of the deleted scenes that was deleted from the first film that will later be reused in the second film is called Constructions. There's actually more deleted scenes that was reused in the sequel, so stay tuned. Anyways, in Construction, Bing Bong and Joy went to Imagination Land and you see that the land is now going in under construction. Like, it's being revamped because Riley has grown up so fast. This was used in the sequel where the emotions, joy, anger, fear, and disgust, later went to Imagination's lands, but it's all covered in under tense. I don't know what they call it, but they're all under tense. And you might be wondering, why am I not showing the actual video instead of this? Like, why am I doing that? You're gonna have to take my word. You're gonna have to take my word for it. I mean, I do not want to spoil anything for you in case you're curious, so if it does appear in the film, please know that I mentioned it there to show that I was right on this one. Sarcasm was always meant to be part of the first film, but never went to fruition. This scene right here is called a sarcasm generator, which is supposed to produce sarcasm. And I really forgot to mention it in the second movie. Well, I forgot to mention it in the last Inside Out 2 video, but now is a good time to mention it. In my trailer thoughts for Inside Out 2, I really forgot to mention the sarcasm, and honestly, I really didn't like the scene. I mean, it's so unironically funny, and I really do like that sarcasm made it in this film. Though it kind of wish sarcasm made its way into, well, as in the form of an emotion instead of, well, this. But come on, who else could say no to this scene right here?
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys! Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys! Huh?
One of the next deleted scenes on this list is called Farmer Man, where both Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong went to the farmer fields where ideas come from, and came across this farmer guy to travel to them along the fog, this scene right here. The idea of the fields showing ideas was a part of the first film, but was later scrapped. But that just because it was scrapped doesn't mean it would be scrapped forever. Where the idea fields will never get used, the part of an idea will later be turned into a brainstorm, since you get ideas from, well, a brainstorm. And yeah, it later, the idea where those ideas came from just came to fruition in Inside Out 2, yet again. I could be wrong about this, but even though the Farmer Man may not be used in the first film, there is a chance that the Farmer Man could not be a farmer at all, but instead could be like some sort of driver on an unknown device. What device? Let's just say it's not on land. Is it on air? Well, what is something that they haven't gone on? Like, seriously, this type of guy will appear in a sequel, but not on land. I'm pretty sure that this may not be appear in the sequel, but this scene is called Joy's Decline, where Joy is starting to lose control of Riley, if that makes sense. Well, what I mean is that Riley is still a kid, but then all of a sudden her parents start not liking stuff that she did before, since she's growing up. I'm not sure that this will appear in a sequel, because there's some things about deleted scenes. Even if those scenes can be reused in the sequel, some of them will never be reused again. And I'm pretty sure this is one of those scenes that will not make a return in the sequel. Just saying. This scene right here is called Imagination Park, where both Joy is running away from fear, most because that fear is more or less the antagonist of this scene, and he thinks that that Riley is better off without her. In fact, let me tell you something. Fear being the main antagonist might be an interesting idea, but it just doesn't work because it just doesn't need a villain. Like Inside Out doesn't need a full-on villain, if you know what I mean. Of course, even though I do like the sequence, the idea of an emotion turning against an emotion, like emotion that is mostly related to being afraid or being worried, has been carried on with the sequel. Here, even though anxiety is Joy's biggest fan, she will stab Joy on the back, if you know what I mean. Plus, she is also an emotion that is related to fear, afraid, and nervousness or worriedness. I'm not sure why did I say worried. Worriedness. I should have just said worried. Anyways, she bottled up all 5 emotions. And I like to bring up that in one of the other deleted scenes from the first Inside Out, Joy intentionally tied up sadness to a chair. Can I show it to you? Again, you're gonna have to take my word for it. So, yeah. In fact, both Joy... No, wait. No, scratch that. Both fear and anxiety say the same thing to Joy. What is it? Well...
You're not coming back to headquarters, Joy. Riley's better off without you.
You just aren't what she needs anymore, Joy.
Yeah, there's a reason why Fear says you and I are going to be friends, since both of them share the same type, if you know what I mean. This thing is called Riley Grows Up, where Riley is about to head off to her school on her first day. And on that day, she encountered two kids that she'll soon later become friends with. And this relationship showed the relationship of both Joy and Fear, then called Freddy. And Joy was a bit of angry. In Inside Out 2, Joy later unlocked another emotion. She showed fear, disgust, and most infamously sadness. She showed anger. That's right, anger. Don't believe me? Look.
Of course I'm delusional! Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain? Jiminy, mother, loving toaster strudel!
Anyways, back on the main subject, Riley, the girl on the right, saw 2 girls, I don't know their names, and both of them hang out with each other. The idea of Riley being friends with 2 girls instead of, well, Meg, has been brought over in the sequel yet again. Since Riley and Meg is on bad terms, these are Riley's new friends. The one with the glasses is named Bree, and the other one is named Grace. Wait, is that also, are those correct? Okay, never mind. Yes, those are the real name. The one with the glasses, his name is Bree, and the one without the glasses, her name is Grace. Bree and Grace. Okay, now please remember that when you see the movie. Anyways, and to wrap this up with this segment, we're not done, but to wrap this up with this segment, this established the relationship of both Joy and Fear, again, then named Freddy. And both of them were really discomfort. Keep in mind that back then, Pete Docter, the director of the first Inside Out, they wanted the 2 main characters to be both Joy and Fear, because when he was young, he used to be afraid all the time, so having fear would work. But in the long run, he later got stressed, felt it was nothing. Like, what if he lost everything? Like, what if he lost everything, and now he's at the bottom of the barrel? So Joy, instead of teaming up with Fear, she teamed up with Sadness, which I think worked out better in the long run. That's because it did work out better in the long run. I mean, seriously, that film won an Oscar thanks to the change of shifting to fear to sadness. Like, joy and sadness are a duo now. Yeah. But what does this have to do with joy and fear? Well, looks like the sequel will finally have a chance of both joy and fear to team up like a duo, like how Joy teamed up with Sadness, alongside with Disgust and Anger joining the team, since both Fear, Disgust, and Anger never left headquarters in the first movie. So yeah, I really hope that Joy and Fear can bond each other. If that happens in the second film. This scene right here is called Joy Alone, where Joy falls into a pit and went into like a wave like ocean, like somewhere around in the subconscious. Something like the memory dump. And Joy gets a chance to be a part like in her dream she wants to be with Riley. And now this is her dream finally coming true. However, Joy denies it because she has to look on the real Riley that's going on today. And why am I mentioning this? Well, this is because this scene has been split up into groups. Well, it's not in the second movie, it's actually in the first movie. And the reason I said it's two groups because it's about Joyless Riley and Joy falling to the dump. The scene where Joy plays as young Riley or Joy is being with Riley, that has been used in the first movie. Like the scene where like this scene right here, that has been used. The scene where Joy is literally alone, that is sad, with a memory piece. Well, that scene will later be used in the final film as one of the saddest scenes in the entire movie, which will make you cry. Finally, on our list of deleted scenes this scene is called Riley. Is where this scene is supposed to establish the characters. Who is Joy and who is Riley, and are the emotions that controls Riley's head. This scene pretty much explains it all. Of course, there's not much to say this, though. Then again, in the sequel, Inside Out 2, we really hope that this scene gets used in the sequel to reintroduce the characters. This scene right here is supposed to be the opening shot of Inside Out 2. So let's just hope that one of the deleted scenes, Riley, has been reused in this scene right here to reintroduce the characters. And speaking of Riley, the deleted scene, in the deleted scene, Riley, in this scene, is supposed to have more than just 5 emotions, going around at least 27 emotions in general. And who are those emotions? I'm gonna let Animat to say the role. Take it away, Matt. Even though I barely met you.
Some would have more antagonistic roles, such as pride, envy, greed, and gloom. Some reflect the more negative emotions, such as guilt, ennui, shame, and embarrassment. And some emotions were about as optimistic as joy, such as love, hope, and Schadenfreude. But ultimately, in order to make things easier for both the Pixar team and for the story, they decided to settle with just 5 characters that would work in Riley's head.
And I did mention that Fear's original name was Freddy. Well, as Pete Docter, the director, said it best.
The characters all have human names. We were very opposed to calling them by their emotion, like pride, who was called Preston, disgust, or anger. Anger we called Ira, for example. We thought we were being very clever and not so on the nose. That ended up being more confusing than it was worth, so I was wrong on that one. One thing you'll notice in the sequence that did survive is the gag of brain freeze. That ended up in the final film. The big thing we needed to establish right off the bat was who is Joy. We wanted to establish Joy as a fun-loving, energetic, peppy, full of life kind of character. Unfortunately, she also kind of came off annoying. So you'll see how that worked and didn't in this sequence.
Yeah, this sequence is personally, out of all the deleted scenes, this is my personal favorite one. It just introduced the characters who they are, especially Anger, because I really love that quote. Like, they all got arms, they all got fists, and somehow when there's rules, there's a hole in the wall, it's always my fault! I mean, I love that quote. I just quoted so many times. But yeah, that's all the deleted scenes from it. Though, if you stayed here long enough, I want to show you one more thing before I close things off. You may notice that Animat mentioned some deleted emotions that got a second chance. Like, if you want to see full details about which characters they are, just watch my video. Like, the link will be in the description if you're watching on YouTube, but the point is, the characters that was mentioned by Animat that later got a second chance were Envy, Ennui, and Embarrassment. And what if I told you there's another scrap character that would have been emotion number 10 instead of Nostalgia? Well, this emotion right here is called Shame. And Shame was supposed to be the main antagonist of Inside Out 2 instead of being Anxiety, even though, like I said, I hope Anxiety doesn't become the main antagonist, because Inside Out doesn't really need a main antagonist, if I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why Shame got, well, scrapped, because the film was already getting darker than it already is. She's not even a real emotion, and she was very irredeemable. Yeah, let's just say that Nostalgia really fits the bill as another positive emotion, considering the fact that we have so many negative emotions. That's all the deleted scenes from the first Inside Out and one scrap character from the second film. I hope you liked this video, and sorry if I ever gave you some spoilers, but it's really worth pointing out. Again, sorry for spoiling it for you guys. But if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. But please subscribe though. I especially need more subscribers. Anyways, if you want to see Animat's video or my earlier video on Inside Out, the link is in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Anyways, I'll see you guys another time. See you later.